Hey, it's your buddy Peace and Harmony with you here today. We are zooming in and focusing in on how to eradicate and how to correct the toxic thoughts, the psychopathic mindset, the victim mindset of being in a society or around an individual, an organization, a family member, a way of thinking, a pattern of relating that has become toxic and not supportive of you. I get a number of different comments every single day, not only on the channel, but in my inbox, as to why people feel alone. They feel depressed. They feel low energy. They feel that they can't think for themselves. They can't be themselves. They don't know who they are. They're out of touch with their values. They're out of touch with their feelings. They're feeling sluggish, groggy, under the weather, but not just for a moment or two. I mean, it's a pervasive, a chronic, a major issue. And oftentimes this is because they are around an upside down family, upside down meaning upside down value-wise. They're in a dysfunctional relationship with a psychopath, someone who has sought to control and dominate and overwhelm them and take over their thought processes. And it's very, very dangerous. It's very, very serious. And it's a topic that I'm very, very passionate about. So I want to really focus in on this video on how to correct that toxic mind thought that makes you feel alienated, isolated, alone, helpless, disempowered, at a victim level. Basically, feeling like something is always wrong, or feeling like there's always some major hurt. You feel constantly annihilated through criticism, judgment, a lack of support. I mean, all those really kind of combine into one way of treating or being treated. And this continues to create a program. And the program within you of how you feel about yourself, how you believe about yourself, that creates your emotions. And then your emotions, which then make you feel depressed or down or low energy, it becomes then a habitual cycle where then your behavior, you don't know how to support yourself. You don't feel right supporting yourself. You feel sort of a severing between yourself. You don't know how to get back on track. You feel a severing that, and then your vision of your life, I will never get better. And whether you don't consciously say this, your internal programming has basically caused this train of thought, this train of emotions, this train of behavior to follow suit. So it's been like a ricochet system. It becomes an automatic system, and oftentimes the origination of that was because you are around a psychopathic, narcissistic, or borderline individual who has put that into play. And real quick, a lot of people say, well, what's the difference? And I have a number of different videos here, but as you all know, the end result is the same for those people who are in relationships or in proximity or in family relationships or in business relationships with these individuals. Number one, they want to emotionally manipulate you. They want to make sure that you're not able to rise up, support yourself, do what's in your best interest. Basically, you are, at the end result, the end of the day, you are disempowered. You are not embracing yourself, your truth, your love, your light, your happiness, your joy, your fulfillment, the higher emotions, really. And then you then engage in a sort of disbalance within yourself. You see the psychological issues, you see the physical issues, the overweight, the imbalance in the spending. You see a lot of the cancers, the immune system issues, the neurological issues, the stomach. It's all connected, and so I want to help you to learn to eradicate and remove a lot of that toxic thoughts. And really, it's like a broom. You have to sweep it out. The toxic negative treatment that has resulted from these people, which have fed you again and again, and then is reinforced by messages in society, messages in your family, and then get to be internalized in yourself, you become basically annihilated or desensitized to it. And you need to really, one, have the awareness that this is what is occurring to you, and really the causation of why you're in this rut, in this gulf, in this subdued, dysfunctional, depressed, or anxious, or really devalued feeling state. In realizing that you have the power to take control and to change that. And you're not going to hear that from everybody. You're not going to hear from the psychopath, you have the power to change. You're not going to hear from the narcissist, you are important, you matter. You're not going to hear from the borderline, I'm sorry, I have a lot of rage outbursts and I didn't mean to be so disruptive and destructive to you. You're not going to hear it from them. And oftentimes what I find is that people then begin to stay stuck in these relationships. They become addicted to the wrong messages. They become addicted to feeling disappointed, unhappy, stuck with these individuals. They can't see the forest for the trees. They can't see their own internal guiding system that's directing them to say it's okay that you don't fit in. You don't fit into a backwards, upside down value system. It's okay that you don't fit in to the negative messages. And that is what your lesson is that you don't belong with people or situations which are not supportive of you and your best interest in embracing of you, your life, your vitality, your force, your life force. And this has been written out, in many different religious texts, the texts of the ancients, movies, songs. It's all written about this. And the really number one thing is you have to embrace what is in your best interest and really get rid of that toxic thought. Like a broom, you have to melt it down. You have to sweep it out. You have to realize what is the junk, what is the gunk, what is the sludge in your mind that's creating the sludge in your feelings and the sludge in your actions and feeling like you're disempowered. So number one is becoming aware of the negative treatment and the negative thoughts. And if it's making you feel fearful, that is the number one. That you're not good enough, that is number two. That you don't have what it takes, that is number three. It's all this sort of combined. You're not good enough, you're not smart enough, you aren't, you don't have what it takes, you don't have the emotional intelligence. Well, chances are you're in the wrong area, and so that you're not in your natural element. You're out of your element. And until you can really begin to embrace that, and you're saying, okay, I'm not at my best here. If I'm struggling, that should be a clue to you. If you're constantly feeling afraid, that should be a clue to you. If you're constantly feeling like you have to put others first and you are feeling like you're not good enough and you have to constantly put yourself down around other people, that's a sign to you that you need to correct your thinking and you need to really sweep those through. You need to melt those negative toxic thoughts away with affirmations and really coming to the present moment, and learning to do what we call mindfulness. Mindfulness means coming to the present moment, letting the past be where it is and letting the future be where it is, but begin to engage in a very gentle practice of mindfulness and meditation where you just sit for a moment, you shut everything off, all the negative messages, all the negative people, and you just begin to sit, and whether it's with your feet on the ground and your back straight up and you're just quiet for a moment and you're allowing everything to shut down and coming to that inner calm. You need to be able to call on that state. And if you say, well, I've never done this before. Well, you've never done this before then. You've never really come to the present moment and you've never tapped into the present, which is a gift, which is going to have the answers for you. And you've never given yourself or your body a chance to focus in this way or feel calm and content in this way and okay and valued of yourself. And we had a very poignant comment by a viewer. She said, how am I supposed to love myself if both of my parents never did? Well, the answer is you have to love yourself the way that they never loved you. You have to, the task, you will develop this practice within you. And until the pain is great enough, a lot of people will just say, I'm supposed to change my thinking, and then they never do. I'm supposed to change my practice, my daily practice of how I go no contact, but they never hold themselves accountable. And they wonder why they're never able to really get on that road of recovery or experience a different life because they don't do what's required. They just don't do it. They don't take the simple first step, or they don't take the second step. They don't take the third step. They don't keep with it on a daily, consistent basis. And if you remember that, you have to put it into play on a consistent basis over a long period of time, and you will receive the lifelong results. Basically, end of the day, you're accountable for your own feelings. If you're, sick of being a victim, say, I am so sick of being a victim. I'm so sick of this erroneous thinking. I'm so sick of being devalued. So now I'm going to learn the tools, the habit, and the mindset, and to get myself to where I want and need to be. So number one is becoming aware of the thoughts. And you can do this through the role of metacognition, which is realizing how you feel and how you think when you're around specific people, situations, events, and becoming aware of that. And then counteracting that with positive affirmations. So, for example, like this girl who had never felt love from her parents. Those are two people in a whole world of people who gave her negative messages, negative treatment, very and counterproductive, meaning she was negatively validated. You are horrible, you are not good enough, you are not pretty enough, you don't have this, you don't have that. So she received a lot of these negative messages, which we call programming and conditioning. So realizing that is the cause of the pain, the cause of the mishap, you need to realize that you have the ability within to basically use the role of metacognition to reparent yourself. Like the great John Bradshaw, parenting your inner child, parenting your inner self, which is your inner spirit, your inner child, the divine one, the one which is pure love, the one which is pure kindness and trust and belief and faith, in which when you get into that space, that creates goodness from there moving on eternally. So once you're able to tap into that and give yourself that place, which is that mindfulness, you will then begin to realize the negative messages which don't belong to you, which aren't really, which are just part of the old programming. You have to get rid of that programming. And furthermore, get rid of the reinforcement where the people keep that stuck, whether it's family members, whether it's society, whether it's your neighbors, whether it's your organization. You are responsible for sweeping those clear. You're responsible for getting that huge bristle broom, getting it out, getting rid of it, clearing it out, and flushing it out of your system, basically through positive affirmations and mindfulness. So the affirmations should be counter to that negative messaging. So you have to counteract it. You have to rebalance it and getting yourself back to a place of peace, foundation, and understanding and calm. So, example, if you, and you're getting into that calm meditative state where you're sitting either in the lotus position or with your feet on the floor. I mean, everybody has a chair or a floor to do this on. And whether, in a state of calm, with your feet on the floor, with your back against the back of a chair, and with your palms open or your palms, clenched like this, just at peace, or open, and when you're open, you tend to roll your shoulders out, which is a better position for you. And then your head, you give yourself a body a chance to relax and come into the present moment, no matter how much you've been fighting it, no matter how scary it is. People are terrified of living their life. They are absolutely terrified. They would rather be depressed and feeling sluggish and down, and rather than living their life and feeling the sort of peace and harmony that can come within your own being, and taking that pleasurable space. They're so afraid of living at peace and content and happiness because no one has told them that you can do this. No messages have reinforced it from their society. No one has reinforced it from their family, their organization, their schooling. Everything has been designed to tell you that you're not good enough, you don't have what it takes, you are horrible for this, you're horrible for that. They're all, it's all these negative messages which are keeping you stuck. So if that's the gunk, if that's the toxic, if that's the junk, you need to bust out the junk. You need to basically get that, that is the problem. And that is the cause, which is causing the symptom of you feeling and getting, living this lifestyle, and feeling stuck. And you do have that power to change. And it has to begin with the awareness, coming into the present moment, and realizing the negative messages. So if the negative messages are, you're just a horrible person, you are horrible, you are ridiculous, I am wonderful and I am magnificent, I am benevolent and I am kind and I am love, and I am giving and I am connected to the divine, and I'm here for a purpose, and I'm here to live in that purpose. So do you see how that counteracts the negative message which this one person had implanted in you, you need to realize that these people engage with a lot of lies, pathological lies, and emotional manipulation to get you severed and disconnected from within. And they're not going to reinforce you. So if you're constantly looking to a narcissist, a psychopath, or a borderline to reinforce your goodness, you are not going to get it there. So if you are continually going back to them and wondering why they're not embracing you and your best interest, because they are not on the same energetic wavelength. They are stuck in denial, pathological lies, feeding their ego, drinking, drugging, whatever it is that they're doing, their high-risk lifestyle. They are not on the same energetic wavelength. They're in a toxic, imbalanced state. And if you feel like you don't want to participate in that, and it's not making you happy and healthy, then you have to own that fact. I want to participate in a healthier, happier lifestyle. And I'm giving that to myself now. I want to participate in a healthier, happier lifestyle, and I want to do that now. And as you begin to repeat that, you need to repeat it not just like, I want to live a happier, I want to be happier, kind of like, well, that would be interesting if I could do that. It needs to be done with commitment and conviction. I want to live a happier and healthier lifestyle. I am living a happier and healthier lifestyle. And to get free of that psychopathic brainwashing, which is very severe, trauma into the crevices of your body and spirit, you need to make that statement out loud. If you need to get into a car, if you need to go to a field and scream that and believe it and reset yourself, then that is what is required. You can try to dumb it down with food and drugs or whatever it is, gambling, overspending. You can try to dumb it down, but until you kind of break the egg, crack the eggshell and let it come open and let the life within come, spring out and get to that place and say, this is the place that I've wanted to be, but I've been so scared of. I've been so scared of this because nobody wanted me here. Nobody wanted me happy. No one wanted me to embrace my strength. No one wanted to validate me. They had to put their needs first. They had to put their toxicity first. They had to put their stress first. They had to put their rage first. They had to put their illusion first. They had to put their control over me first. They had to put their need to overpower me first. It's not going to come from them. It's going to come from within you. The locus of control is within you. And until you can begin to shout that out, is there a song, shout it out? I don't know. There's music about this. Surround yourself with positive music with people who get this, who know this and are in attention and aligned with this. This is your inner voice. This is your inner strength. This is your inner core. That is your core. Your core, your core, your core. Your core is going to be with you for your life. This is your I am. You have your skin, your hair, your fingernails, your feet, your ears, you've got your voice. These are all the tools that you need to engage in, but you need to get to the source, that solar plexus, and really get into that place where you are understanding that your I am and your I want and your vision is going to come from that place. And it has to come from within you. It needs to have the repetition, the experience, and then resetting the programming, which is your basically your subconscious, and it will eradicate that junked down like a broom. Those affirmations need to be spoken, repeated with emotional backing, and then simultaneously that emotional emphasis with conviction and belief and commitment. And these are the things, this is how you reparent yourself. I love you so much. You are wonderful. You are adorable. You're sweet. You're kind. You're adorable. You're precious. You are all these things. You are that little one inside. And I know a lot of you are feeling tearful right now because no one was able to ever to give that to you and touch you at the same time and look into your eyes and teach you that and program you that. So that's why it's so important to use all your senses and reparent yourself. A lot of people, and give yourself this support. And if you said, I don't think I can do this, then you will never do it. If you don't have the vision, belief, and conviction in yourself, who else is going to give it to you? Like in the words of Jewel, that songwriter, what's the song that's coming to me now? I'll think of it in a minute, but she has a lot of music that speaks to this. Who will save your soul if you won't save your own? I think is her statement. So this is very, very true. You have to realize you have something precious, powerful, and infinite within your being. And it is that which is crying out for help. It is that which is crying out for attention and to direct yourself. So that's what we talk about in the recovery journal, getting to attention of what your needs, knowing what your needs are. I need to be happy. I need to lose weight. I need to get into exercise. I need to travel. I need to have good friends. I need to have good employment. I need to have good feelings. I need to have good clothes. I need to have good shoes. I need to have good shelter. These are your needs. These are my needs and these are my wants. And knowing what your vision is and how you want to be, do, have, and feel, and realizing that these are yours. You own this. As they say, own it. You need to own that about yourself. Give that to yourself. If someone told you you can't have it, then that's part of your pain of why you're not having it. You will never do this. You will never do that. Keeping you stuck, keeping you limited, keeping those toxic thoughts. Sweep it out like a broom. Get rid of it. Get it. If you don't have a big broom, if you don't have affirmations, if you're not writing these down, if you're not surrounding your affirmations in your life, on your refrigerator. I am so excited to live a healed life. I am so excited to live a happy life. I have these written down. I have my affirmations. I look at it and I have exclamation point and I have smiley faces, and this is reinforcing for me. And so I've created that reinforcement that I need, that validation. I've created that validation in my life. And that is validation and that is reinforcing. So you need the reinforcement, you need the validation, you need to give it to yourself. And once you give it to yourself, at first it's difficult. This might take a couple days, weeks, months, or years. But once you're continually staying on it, you'll bust out the basically the limiting beliefs that have held you back. It will give you giving you the feeling of conviction and commitment and breaking through the fear and the isolation that has been holding you down. So it's the getting to a place of calm, giving yourself a chance to live in the present moment, and giving yourself a chance to focus in, and breathe deep and come to that inner space. And you can begin to feel the calm. You feel this is strange, this is a waste of time, but then you'll begin to calm down. You'll hear you'll feel the new feeling. I am bliss. I am liberation. I am free. I am oneness. I am commitment. I am empowered. You'll begin to experience that. So you need to come to that experience. So a little bit of that meditation, whatever it is, 1 minute, 2 minutes, 5 minutes, 15 minutes, and then begin that affirmations to counteract those negative messages, and then begin to say it loud enough so it will resonate within the body and you'll begin to feel it. And then even if you need to go out and do a walk and do other behaviors that reinforce that message, you'll begin to create, and believe me, the world will come to rise and lay out a red carpet for you to support you in your dreams and your endeavors. Stay with it long enough. Peace and harmony with you here today. I hope these videos do help. Please share and please subscribe for more great tools, videos, discussion, and support.